Hello, my name is Laura Almate.
Hello, I'm Jamie Crawford.
Hello, I'm Mark Latar.
Hello, my name is Brian Graham.
Hello, I'm Jessica Schwartz.
The first phase of project management is the initiating process. In this phase, you should identify the problem. What is it you are trying to accomplish or fix? Next, you should determine your objective. How much time do you have? What are your resources, and what is your budget? Then you should identify your scope. What boundaries do you have to stay within while completing the project? Last, you must identify your stakeholders. Determine who your stakeholders are, what is it in the project that is important to them, and what are their concerns about this project. After you determine all of this, you can then move to the planning phase.
After the charter has been handed to you, your first task is to develop the scope statement. In your scope statement, you should include the following details: sponsors, objectives, benefits, overview of purpose, constraints, project deliverables, stakeholders affected, assumptions and impacts, and identify the roles and responsibilities of each team member. In addition to the scope statement, you must identify your resources. This can include time, materials, people, and money. You will also need to develop a list of items that will constitute your deliverables and identifies the tasks needed to complete said deliverables. You should also be sure to estimate resource requirements and finalize a project budget. Aside from these tasks mentioned, some of the biggest tasks in the planning phase are identifying risks, developing a schedule, and creating a work breakdown structure, also known as a WBS. Risk planning is an important task. In risk planning, typically one creates a risk register as seen here. The purpose of this is to determine all risks associated with your project and mitigate these risks. When developing your schedule, Microsoft Project is most commonly used. In this program, you can identify all the tasks required. By doing so, you're able to determine the length of time for each task, the deadline, and prioritize each task. The final aspect of the planning phase is developing the work breakdown structure, WBS. This is commonly developed in Microsoft Project as well. The WBS identifies the tasks needed, the time associated with the task, and it will also identify all the tasks you must meet to fulfill a given scope. This also identifies hidden dependencies. It is also used as the base for assigning resources and deriving time estimates. An example of a WBS is seen here.
The execution phase of project management consists of three main areas: monitoring, reporting the status of the project to the stakeholders, and controlling the project. By monitoring and controlling, you are ensuring that the project is progressing in a timely fashion and within defined constraints. Reporting includes notifying all stakeholders of the progress being made and alerting them to any issues that may require scope changes. This communication is done through the stakeholder communication plan developed in the planning phase.
In the monitoring stage, the project manager ensures that all tasks are following the critical path within the defined schedule. The critical path is identified in the completed WBS. It is the shortest possible time that the project can be completed in. Essentially, the approved project plan provides the basis for this tracking process. Some of the responsibilities of monitoring include measuring the ongoing project activities, where we are within the project. This includes communicating regularly with team members. Monitoring the project variables against the project management plan. This means that you are responsible to ensure that you are adhering to the scheduled time and budget. Communicating deadlines. Identify corrective actions to ensure that you are addressing issues and risk properly. This includes communicating all changes in the project to resources and stakeholders.
Project managers are responsible for several different aspects of the assigned project. Perhaps one of the most important aspects of the project is the final stage known as closing the project. Closing the project involves several steps. The most important steps when closing a project include releasing the resources, ensuring you and your team have met all of your contractual obligations, handing the product to the client, and following up with the client at a scheduled date. Once the client has signed off on the project, your project has officially ended. It is also a requirement to supply all of your coworkers with beer.
Let's talk about something important. Are they all here?
All but one.
Well, I'm going anyway. Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only. A, B, C. A always B, B, C closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Thank you for your time and attention. We hope you have a better understanding of the 5 phases of project management. Test your understanding at www.projectmanagementrules.com. Thank you. Good night and good luck.